While Blakey bandaged her arm, she tried to get a grasp and regain composure. "Oh, Arthur, Arthur, I need a drink." She pointed to a drawer behind him, never taking her eyes off the thing on the table. Blakey was surprised to find a small, half-empty bottle of Maker's Mark whiskey. He opened it and took a swig for himself before passing it over. Susan took 2 heavy pulls and handed it back with a sigh. She examined the trench club. "Is this a monkey skull?" "Don't know. Found it in my garage. Not a damn thing special about it either. Just wood, bone, and metal," Blakey answered. "You found this in your garage?" She gave back the club and took another swig from the bottle. With her empty stomach, the whiskey was giving her a buzz. "How did you figure out this could kill them?" she asked. Apparitions surfaced in his head of being attacked by a shape for the first time. He told her of that one quiet, cold night when the Charter Arms pistol he had kept on the nightstand finally saw some use. A creak of the loose floorboard in the bedroom doorway had awakened him. The image was permanently burned in his head. It was as if it were an illustration from a dusty book of ghost stories. A frightening silhouette loomed in the doorway with shining eyes and unnaturally long, sinewy limbs. It went from perfectly still to violently lunging for him, from the doorway to the bed in one leap. Blakey fired 6 shots into it. 2 were mid-air, and the last 4 bullets came as it continued to scramble towards him from the floor. The ear-piercing cracks of gunfire and the heavy body collapsing on the carpet were followed by a startling silence. The sheets, balled up in the beast's grasp, slid almost gracefully off the bed. It had seemed dead, lying on the bedroom floor. Except 10 minutes later, while Blakey was still staring at the impossibility, holding Harry back by the collar, it had snorted back to life with a violent spasm. The gun was empty, and that was when he learned how fast they were. He dashed for the basement and was able to close the door behind him before it could reach him. The brief momentary delay was just enough, but he was moving so fast that he fell down half the steps. He had no chance of getting the gun locker open in time to reload, so he went to the tool bench. Grabbing a hammer, he looked for something bigger, and his eyes immediately looked to the club. He had just found it in the garage and was admiring it under the mounted magnifying glass on his tool bench. The moment he turned with the club, the beast was there. The blood was so loud in his head, he didn't even hear the basement door being pulled off and tossed through the kitchen like a box top. To Blakey, it seemed the shape had known the danger of the wood, because it had stopped and even backed up when it saw it. It circled Blakey, waiting for a swing, and then a chance around the wood to his flesh. Again, it was luck that Blakey's first swing met the side of its head. Without any prior practice, Blakey's initial attempt should have failed, yet it succeeded, sending the terrifying creature to the cement floor. Blakey didn't know better back then, to finish them off. It rose for more, opening Blakey's arm with a single swipe of its mighty hand. Harry appeared and kept the shape distracted long enough for him to return to switch grips. Blakey delivered a strong blow to its shoulder, breaking bones, tearing flesh, and knocking it down. He then raged on the beast. Some ancient switch, deep inside of Blakey, clicked on. There would be no mercy and no measure. Blakey beat the monster to death in a vicious surge of violence that left it a blob of splintered bone and pulverized flesh. The shape on Susan's exam table looked pristine by comparison. Susan felt the grain and heft of the club. "It's really heavy, isn't it? Maybe there is a metal core attached to that skull." Blakey agreed. Susan fished in her purse for her phone. She began snapping pictures of the shape. Blakey shook his head. "That doesn't work either. They don't photograph." "What do you mean?" She checked the screen, and everything but the shape was in focus. The area on the table where the body lay looked like a Francis Bacon smear of motion and light, a spastic ghost image. She tested a few more. She even took one of the room and of Blakey to make sure the camera was working. Every image was fine. Blakey was a bit blurry, but the pics of the beast all looked like the result of violent camera shake. It was a crippling blow to her scientific mind. She moved to the book. "What about this?" He explained, They all have a copy. That or Alice in Wonderland. Kids only have to read. Adults usually have to read the whole way, get fully into it. Children much less, a few pages in, and these things will come running. Ever since, I would say that time I came in here with a busted rib, I tear out the last third of any copy I keep. She flipped to the missing third. Where do they get the book? Bookstores, handmade, local printer. One guy delivers them. It's all I could ever find out until... Blakey paused. Until? She prompted. Blakey recalled the day's earlier ordeal in his head. I think I might have followed him today, lost him in the metro. He debated telling her more, telling her about Lusk. This is just incredible, Arthur. Where could they have come from? Susan was clearly excited. Don't know, but I'm about to find out, Blakey announced. How? She looked up from a closer examination of its hands. Got a GPS tag and one of his pals locked up at home. Gonna tag him, let it go, and follow. That's a good idea, Arthur. She was a bit surprised. Saw a nature special on snow something rabbits. Blakey strangely felt the need to disown credit for the idea. Snowshoe hares, I saw that. What if it doesn't run? What if it just tries to kill you again? She posed. Either way, I need to get rid of it. I knew I couldn't keep it long. I knew another would come. But I didn't expect 6 and not that quickly. Maybe now they know where I live. I better get back and let it go or kill it. Blakey got up to leave. Where's Harry? Susan pointed to another exam room, unable to take her eyes off the shape, clutching the club when Blakey left. Harry was lying on the table in exam room 2, heavily sedated. His breathing was laboured and shallow. He looked pathetic. Blakey sighed and gave Harry's head a gentle rub. You did a good job, pal. You're a good dog. The dog's tail feebly smacked up and down against the metal table. Blakey felt a deep sadness creeping in, so he left, telling the dog he would be back, even though he knew one of them probably wouldn't make it to the end. On his way out, Blakey went back for his club. Susan had returned to the camera dilemma, trying different angles and settings. Blakey took the bat. Gotta go, Doc. Sorry, need this back. She immediately felt unsafe. He reassured her, Don't worry, it's dead. How can you be sure? She was rightfully skeptical. It's dead, trust me. Blakey handed her his reloaded gun. Here, if it'll make you feel better, but trust me, it's not coming back. I'm coming with you, she said definitively. He objected. Better not. Like you said, don't know how this will play out. Blakey left, and Susan checked the photos on her phone again and held the gun tight. She didn't notice Blakey's copy of Looking Glass on the counter, waiting to be read.